Welcome back, everybody, to the Oakland A's franchise on MLB The Show 23. It is episode 90. We're here in season 6 at 31-26 right now, and we're in second place, tied with the Rangers, with the Angels ahead of us in first place. This season, one of the big storylines has been an underwhelming offense. We have definitely regressed a lot this year, dropping to 18th in team batting average. The scoring is way down now as we're tied for 17th, and we were a very good home run hitting team a year ago, and now we're just a little bit above average, coming in at 12th. Well, last episode, I decided it was time to really start changing up this offensive approach with our starting lineup, and it was really an overdue move. Guys like Aaron Don have simply not played well enough to actually keep in that leadoff role, and that's really gone on for a long time. If we look at our best batting averages right now against right-handed pitching, it's going to be the guys that are number 1 and 2, Miguel Vargas and Trey Sweeney, both players who gave us a boost in last episode's featured game. And I have decided to make some more changes to this lineup, bringing Aaron Don down to the 7 spot and giving Miguel Cabrera a chance to play over Dylan Carlson. That's going to hurt our defense, but I think it gives us much better offense, as Carlson has once again struggled this year and Cabrera has earned more playing time. But I think that the big change here that's a big positive is getting Aaron Don into this 7 spot instead of leading off. When he was having his all-star Aaron campaign last year, it was obviously a great fit with his high on base and the power and contact he was displaying, but he's just not been that guy. He wasn't that guy in the postseason. That hurt our starting lineup in that case, and it's done it once again this year. And I've just kind of been slow to adjust there because for much of last season, it was perfect to leave him lead off, and that was kind of the ideal spot for him all along. It's just not playing out that way. Miguel Vargas has been better. Trey Sweeney has been better. And the outfield is struggling to the point where they have to hit 7, 8, 9. I hope that changes. I'm going to edit Miguel Vargas to be a primary third base now that we've seen him start there for a long time. I think it's fair to consider him to be a third baseman over a second. So he'll have his best defensive ratings when he's at third. It'll drop a bit if he ever takes reps at second base. Let's head to the injured list quick, and we're seeing Logan Gilbert is probably coming back here pretty soon from the torn hamstring. In his place, we've done a great job with Henry Vasquez, who has delivered a few big wins for us. He's racked up a lot of strikeouts. He's pitched 4 quality starts. And we're going to have a decision to make here, it looks like, shortly, with a couple guys struggling right now in the rotation. But it's pretty critical we bounce back here in the month of June and do a good job here on the road. Our featured game last episode felt like a really good possible turning point for the offense. We'll see if that is truly the case. We have a new lineup, and in our first game afterwards, 6-0, so we get a shutout pitched by Cole Phillips. He goes 7, and then we get 2 homers. Don and Cruz go yard with a lot of doubles in there, and the top of our order producing with Vargas getting 2 hits. We take 2 out of 3 from the Mariners, and then we're down to meet the Dodgers, and this is a tough matchup. Vasquez versus Walker Buehler. If Vasquez continues to start well and does so against teams as good as the Dodgers, obviously it's not going to be his spot in the rotation that ends up going away when Gilbert returns. This is not a game you'd probably expect us to win, although Walker Buehler might not be the same Walker Buehler anymore. Let's get into this one. We're bottom 1. Andres Jimenez leads off, and Vasquez looking at start number 8 or 9. He's over a 10 strikeout per 9 innings, one of the best strikeout pitchers we've had here at the majors. And that one's going to be launched to left center field, and it will split the gap. On to second is Jimenez. He will hold up there. Strike to Gavin Lux on the inside corner. Down below, we're getting playoff predictions, by the way. They're saying we'll go 93 and 69. It feels pretty good that they're projecting us to play that well when we've definitely regressed this year. Jimenez, stolen base threat. We'll see if he really wants to take third base. That one you'd like to get, but 3-1 now on Gavin Lux. And it's a walk with the first two reaching versus Vasquez. A little early here to get into trouble, right? We're 8 pitches in. 2 on for the Dodgers. William Contreras. Uh-oh. Advancing is Jimenez, and we got him at third base. That'll work. That's one way to get your first out. Out in front of that slider, Vasquez gets strike 2. Now looks to challenge. And popped him up. Don's going to measure this one. We'll see if he gets a chance to throw out Lux. And he won't be tested. And here is Mookie Betts. Still producing, maybe not elite numbers, but definitely good. And the Dodgers still have one of the better offenses in baseball. And that's going to be strike 3 on Mookie Betts as Vasquez bounces the inning back in his favor. Oh boy, Vaughn Grissom launches one to left field. It'll stay in the yard. And the second inning begins just the same as the first. Oh, he's just leaving the fastball over the plate right now. Pages to left center. We do it again. Third double for the Dodgers. He doesn't have confidence in his fastball, and that's typically one of his better pitches. So now we got to adjust the game plan because it's clearly not working today. And it's our old pal Cody Bellinger who finds himself back with the Dodgers, having rebuilt his career with the time away in Chicago and then with us for a couple seasons. It was a pretty good stretch. Well, that's a better fastball. We'll see if he can rebuild his confidence a little bit. Really needs to put him away here, and does. Strike 3. Another guy they've actually been able to rebuild a bit here is Kyle Lewis, who broke out, had that Rookie of the Year season with the Mariners, I want to say, and then hasn't really followed that up the way he would want to. Here with the Dodgers, though, looks like this season is a true return to form at age 33. Still got the swing and miss stuff. And the fastball gets the job done. Strike 3. He's certainly not sharp to start. He's struggling to get strike 1. But there's still something to like here. Like, even when he's off, like, he's still got swing and miss stuff. It's good to see. Lewis now behind 1-2. And he pitches around another leadoff double. Well, actually, he didn't. We gave up a run. We allowed 2 doubles. I kind of forgot that part. Man, that fastball just catches way too much, and Jimenez sends it out to right. It's gone. The Dodgers have had an extra base hit leadoff every inning so far. You just really can't get away with the fastball today, it seems. So we're going to really put it away now. And the changeup might be right behind it if that keeps up. On the ground. A rise. That's not clean enough. He's not getting him. Well, that might be exactly what he needs. And it is a double play ball. So we're definitely not going to be using the fastball here. They already have 3 hits off of it, of their 5. And he still struggles to locate even the sinker and the slider at times. Changeup's also kind of in the mix today. Leaves it up and gets away with it. Come on, no more extra base hits. Strike 3 on Grissom. That wasn't even close, man. These first pitches, pretty much everything's been a ball. That's popped up out of reach, though. 47% on first pitch strikes, so it's not quite that bad, but it is under 50%. 1-1 on Pages. Better slider, strike 2. Holds back, count goes full. Vasquez, 3-2 on the corner and bounced through the infield. On, oddly enough, one of his best pitches of the day. Runner takes off and Bellinger drills the fastball foul. I was just trying to throw something above the zone there. It's going to end up in the wheelhouse every time. That is going to be lined into left. Bellinger's aboard. Yeah, he's just got no control of anything right now. Every pitch is a serious dice roll for Henry. I think 4 innings is going to be plenty for him, honestly. I might manually pull him to give us a hopeful better chance of winning this game. Kyle Lewis now 2 on, 2 strikes. A rare 0-2 count in this game. We'll see if we can get him with one of these sliders. I'm not throwing a fastball here, Tyler. Have you seen these? He's still calling for it, and I'm still shaking that off. 3-2, though. He wants the fastball. All right. All right, Tyler. High fastball. Full count. And he got him! Strike 3. And now we got Brandon Lewis. Pitch count approaching the 70s. And I want this to be hopefully his last batter. You got that third trip narrative, but I think this is one of those starts where it's like, yeah, we don't need to see this guy see the lineup 3 times. 2's plenty. All right, he's calling 2-seamer here. The 2-2 is grounded right to Trey Sweeney. So we get through 4, allowing 2. We could have allowed a lot more than that. I think that's going to be it here for Vasquez. It obviously wasn't one of his better starts. You still see, though, the things that make him intriguing even on a bad day. But it's time to see if we can salvage this game. We're going to head into the 9th inning. The score has held, and Brock Burke is looking for save 18 in a 2-1 ball game. The offense pretty cold in this one. Could not do well against the struggling Walker Buehler. And you always got a tough Dodgers bullpen here, and they have kept us off the board. We got left on left here, Burke versus Soderstrom, and that's a strike. There are your league leaders in saves. Joan Duran is up there, but it's Nick Sandlin who's in first place. Penn Murphy not quite there on the leaderboards. 2-1 from Burke. We got the check swing, and he went. The 2-2 outside, the count full. Big pitch here from Burke. 3-2. Popped him up against the shift and caught. Arise doesn't always hit lefties well. I know I start Geloff in these spots. I'm not sure why Arise is in there right now. We got a 2-1 count to Luis Arise, and he fouls it back. Burke's 2-2 outside, another full count, and we know Aaron Dunn's getting a chance. We had 3 lefties due up to face a lefty closer. That's unfortunate. And he holds back. A walk for Arise. Tying runs on. And Dylan Carlson's going to pinch hit for Aaron Dunn. And Royce Lewis is also entering the game. So empty the bench. Throw everything we got at him here. Carlson looking for a big moment. 0-2. Carlson coming off the bench and striking out on 3 pitches. And that's going to leave the game on the shoulders of Miguel Cabrera, whose average is dipping down to 233. Picking up some extra playing time because he's a really advanced, hitter and on-base player for this stage of his career. He's got a good eye at the plate, of course. It's the best thing he does right now, and he gets ahead of Burke 2-0. Who's already had to throw in a fair amount of pitches, and Cabrera sends it to center field. So we got 2 aboard, and a hit could score a run now. And we're going to the 9 spot. It's going to be Yusniel Cruz, and a big moment. The rookie getting his first full year of big league action. He's got a ceiling as high as anyone in the game, and it's a 2-0 count. 3-0, and the lineup could turn over for Vargas. Does Burke try to catch a corner, or will he throw in the middle of the plate? He gets the strike at the belt. 3-1, and that's in there, 3-2. So with Lewis leaving early, basically a hit of most kinds will score him. And here we go. 3-2. Got him! Strike 3. Right down the middle at 93. And the Dodgers win it 2-1. That was a winnable game. Buehler pitches a gem today, and Vasquez wasn't his sharp self. Still salvaged the day. And we could have won it with some offense. We're obviously going to have games where we only manage a run or two, but it's just the abundance of these games that I think has been one of the big issues. In the following game, we're again struggling to add runs late, but it ain't over until it's over, and we put 5 on the board in the 9th to achieve a split. It appears Tyler Soderstrom hit a 9th inning grand slam, and those are pretty good if you want to win games. No earned runs. The Dodgers had 3 errors. What happened in this 9th inning? This is a Chargers-level collapse. Excellent job. The road trip continues as we head to Texas for 3 against the Astros. And we get the bats going for a Game 1 victory, followed by 6 here on the board, and we add a few more. Much better. We take 2 out of 3 from the Astros, losing the finale, and then get come back home to take on the Braves. And again, good offensive showing here in the opener with Vasquez coming back to give us 6 good innings, 7 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. I mean, I'm really impressed with what he's been able to do for us. This was actually a game where they put Don and the Rise back in the 1 and 2 spots, so it's kind of like a throwback game. When you sim, they'll make some adjustments to the lineup and everything, but it's not always what I want. 3 days away from Gilbert coming back. All right. We got Michael pitching against Cairo. I have not had a Joe Michael game here in a little bit. That is shocking that his strikeout rate is now not only down below 9, but it's actually fallen under 8. And you'd think that'd be cause for concern, but it obviously isn't. His numbers are excellent across the board. He doesn't need the strikeouts to be elite because he's Joe Michael. The advanced numbers are also very favorable on Phillips, Waldichuk, even Cope. No one is actually struggling. So when Gilbert returns, it's really tough to say what the right decision is. Phillips is now up to an 82 overall. Thankfully, all positive development for him. 70 innings into the season. Obviously, some growing pains, but clearly he's doing a fine job. And then with Cam Cope, a little bit up, a little bit down. He's given up 12 homers and 81 innings. And his ERA is on the higher end with, a 4.05 FIP. It's just not as good as the rest of our rotation. Joe Michael helps us win again against the Atlanta Braves. It's a 9-1 game. They obviously have a very different team now in Atlanta, and I chose that we'd sim this one and do the next Michael game because it's just a more important opponent. We had 4 homers in this game. That's the kind of offense we need to see. Michael did not get a shutout today. That's kind of the bar now. Like, if he gets a shutout, it's a good day. If he doesn't, we've seen better. Logan Gilbert is now back. It's extremely tough here to make a decision. Ultimately, though, man, Romano has just been atrocious. Might be a little sunk cost fallacy here because he's playing DFA worthy. We've already invested a lot. The man has options. Might as well use them. He's pitching like a broken pitcher right now. 2.3 whip. Is that good? 4 homers in 9 2/3 innings. He probably shouldn't have options, or maybe he does, but either way, I'm using them because he's been really bad. Lerma, he's close to being DFA'd, but for now he can go down to AA. Ultimately, what I think is the play here for us is to get Gilbert back in the starting rotation, and we're going to have Cam Cope start to pitch out of the bullpen a little bit. Phillips is like the higher ceiling player. He's also just had better advanced numbers on the season, so we're going to leave him in the rotation. And then Vasquez, it's kind of the hot hand approach right now, and I'll keep Vasquez in there over Cope and just let things develop, see where they go. We could flip this at some point, but for the time being, Vasquez gets the starts. And Cope is going to probably get one of these middle relief roles, and then, Kendrick Haynes maybe gets the setup. Because obviously, Hernandez hasn't played better than him. Also, Palante is an option. Let's just have Cope be like a long relief option suddenly here. We got him and Ashby then. That works. So we finally make that decision, and now we get to take on the Twins at home. Spencer Strider comes into town, and we pick up a win in Game 1, 6-3. Getting a lot of those runs off of Strider. They had Gallen coming out of the bullpen. And Cole Phillips, he showed that he deserves to stay in this rotation. Murphy saved 19. Logan Gilbert is now back. So what I saw with Gilbert, obviously the numbers on the surface don't look great there with the high ERA, but the advanced numbers say, okay, maybe we should settle down a little bit. He comes back, we drop his return, and he takes the loss. So Gilbert goes 4 2/3. He allowed 2. Not a great start, not an awful start. Cam Cope comes in to relieve, and he gave up 2 runs as well. That leaves Vasquez to face Ian Anderson, and it's 2-1 in the 9th. Vasquez went 7, by the way, striking out 7. Oh, it's raining. Better not delay this. All right, Penn Murphy's in there looking for a save. Jose Ramirez in for the Twins, and a 2-1 ball game. So weird to see him in a Twins uniform. I ain't mad at it, though. I think it's a pretty good idea. 2-0. Well, 3-0. As we get an update down below at all the potential trade deadline buyers and sellers. I love that they're showing that. They got us as a buyer, by the way. I do think that, you got your options of buy, sell, stand pat. I lean towards buy right now. And probably a right-handed outfielder is what we need the most. 3-1 on Ramirez. And that's going to slowly sneak its way into left center field. Alex Kirilloff is up for the Twins. And he's out in front of the fastball. Ramirez, is he still a stolen base threat at this stage of his career? I'm not sure. Hopefully he stays put. And that ball is ripped to right field. Carlson giving chase, and he can't get there. It's off the wall, and Ramirez is probably coming around. He held at third, actually. He clearly does not have the speed he once did. A big double from Kirilloff, but Twins still have to get the runs scored. Murphy versus Alex Bregman. The Twins, I think, have Bregman and Altuve. So they, take away players from the Astros. Not mad. I'm just interested. Emmanuel Rodriguez. 301 average, 10 homers. He's an outfield prospect of theirs that is clearly panning out. And now with the bases loaded, a chance to flip the game. Murphy, still just one gone. Oh, he gets the chopper. Can you get the out at home? You can't. You can't even get that out. Come on. Infield hit on a swinging bunt. Sick to my stomach seeing that. Here comes Hernandez. We're here to try and limit the damage. Brooks Lee puts down a good bunt to second base to put the Twins ahead. And then it's our old pal Shea Langoliers. The trade was Shea Langoliers for Marshall Lerma. I think that the Twins are winning that trade, although we got a good single year from Lerma as a middle relief option. We were done with Shea. It was time to let him move on to his next team. Seems to have worked. I could use a standing update here, too. I haven't checked since we started action today. Vargas at third will wrap the inning up, but we got to get at least one. And the Twins will bring out their closer. It's going to be Alex Reyes. Here we go, 24 of 29. For 2 years in this series, Reyes came out of our bullpen, but not as a closer. He was a high-leverage setup guy, really for Domingo Acevedo. He was very good, but he wanted to close. The Twins have given him that chance, and I'd say he's been maybe slightly above average at it there. He's blown a few saves, and his numbers have been solid, but he's not in the elite. Doesn't matter. He just needs to get one big save here for the Twins. Vargas leads off. Takes outside. He does lead the league in saves, so maybe I should eat my words a little bit. That one is going to center field. Vargas delivers a base hit. Trey Sweeney. I don't know why they got these two hitting 7-8, but here we are. Sweeney lifts it shallow left. Coming in, an easy play. That's Eloy Jimenez, isn't it? This Twins roster is wild. Eloy Jimenez, Jose Ramirez, Bregman Altuve, Zach Gallen, Spencer Strider. The Twins must have new ownership or something. Like, this ain't adding up. Miguel Cabrera with one gone. Twins half game out of first place in the Central, looking for a win. We're a half game out of first in the West. Cabrera's late. The rain has emptied this stadium out. 3-2 in the ninth. Dawn waiting for a chance. And Cabrera staring at a big pitch. He strikes out swinging. It's left up to Aaron Dawn. We know what he's capable of in this exact moment. Similar moment. It tied the game in the last episode. Dawn 2 gone. Looks at a strike on the outer third. Checked his swing on a 12-6 inside. Reyes behind 2-1. And Dawn checks again. The former Twin, Royce Lewis, is in the on-deck circle. 3-1. Out in front, flailing at the change. So the runner's going to leave early. Dawn, 3-2. Ball game if he doesn't reach. He's got a chance. Shea throws him out. The game is over. Of course, they had to find a way to let Langoliers factor into the deciding play. And the Twins take one after a Penn Murphy blown save. Well, it hurts to lose one like that. We get the off day to travel to Boston at 38-32. The Red Sox are 40-32, one of the best teams here in the American League. So you got two teams in the West with 40-plus victories. In the Central, nobody's there. In the East, Red Sox, Orioles each have 40 wins. The Sox have lost their last 5 games. They do have one of the league's best offenses with the #1 team batting average, and they're third in runs. They have an MVP candidate in Robert Mesa, who's only 21 years old. They also have a Rookie of the Year candidate in Darryl Enriquez. They're young, they're talented, they clearly can put up runs. And we're going to get Joe Michael taking on Brian Bayo. We're moving Vladimir Guerrero down a spot so we don't have 3 consecutive lefties at any point in this lineup. That's a left-handed reliever's dream, and we're not going to give it to him in this game. As we head to Fenway Park. Always fun when you can play in Fenway. Like, these are my favorite road games. Although you got an interesting outfield to play. We got Joe Michael and Brian Bayo. Both pitchers have really good numbers. Bayo's not going to strike a lot of guys out, but he doesn't need to. 302 average here for Miguel Vargas on an 8-game hitting streak and thriving in the leadoff spot. Underway with a sinker at the knees. A chopper onto third base. It's Rafael Devers making the play. 11th in slugging this season. Trey Sweeney in the second spot again at 266. He's got really good numbers against righties. His average is 266, but it's like much higher against righties and significantly lower against lefties. Bayo ahead 0-2 and smoked to second and caught. Franmil Reyes. We have to talk to about the impact of him and Guerrero. Both guys' averages are down this year a fair amount, like more in the 250s, as opposed to being like 300 hitters and all-stars a year ago. Not sure if either one's going to be an all-star. They're performing well. They're just not like, the same game-changing impact that we've seen in the past. If he hits 260 with 28 home runs, it's a good year. But I think the team now, too many guys are regressing and not enough guys are, taking a step. So there's a missing piece that maybe can only be filled via trade. Strike 3, inning over. I haven't had a good Joe Michael game in a while, so good to have this one here. Making his 15th start of the season. Cy Young Award winner last year and playing well enough to be in the mix for it all over again. Eric Nelson leads off, and here we go. I'd say the Red Sox have done an impressive job of drafting, developing, and getting a young core to lead the team. Michael opens with a strikeout of Nelson. So Enriquez is the rookie, hitting 256. And here is Joe Michael, 4th in American League ERA. I no longer see Michael Soroka there on the leaderboards. Swing and a miss from Enriquez. Michael, 3-2. He held back. No, he didn't. Strike 3. And they still have Rafael Devers. No reason to ever get rid of that guy. 0-2, though. Michael almost hits him. Weekly hit. Here is Sweeney on the backhand. Inning over. Vladdy's average is down to 247. And he really hasn't been an elite home run hitter for us in this series. Let's go through his numbers quick. He's hit 32. 39 was a couple years ago. So, I mean, he's a 30 home run guy, of course, but I think he's a little bit off that pace this year. The slugging, on base, everything's just a little bit down. Not sure how that'll factor into his decision to play for $17 million next year, but it's probably better off to just opt out and try to get a 4 or 5 year deal anyway. 3-0 from Bayo and catches the inside. But then walks him on the slider. Luis Arraez. He's got power this season. Again. 273 average. 31 RBIs. Bayo having trouble finding a strike. Walked Vladdy and now walks Arraez. A chance for Aaron Dunn here with one down. And he lifts it the other way. Looks playable. Out number 2. And again, Miguel Cabrera's getting a chance to play. His batting average is definitely a little bit low, but you have to factor in all the walks he tends to take, and he's still got a 346 on base. He has 17 walks and 117 at bats, so 134 plate appearances then. Not bad. Although we prefer a hit here to a walk. A walk's just not enough. And a hit's going to come through. We're going to wave the runner. Getting aggressive. And we score. Vladdy is safe. Big hit for Miguel Cabrera. Extending the inning for Yusniel Cruz. Ooh, I wanted that one. I was eyeing up the monster on that swing. I really didn't want to swing at that, but the pitch looked good for a second there. 1-2 on Cruz. Got to fight that off. Trying to keep the ball down against Cruz. 2-2 outside. Runners will leave early. 3-2. Weakly chopped. Bayo has a play and will not make it in time. Bases loaded for Vargas. That was not the pitch to swing at. And a drive hit to center field, and it is caught to end the top half of the second. 1 run on the board. That'll bring up Robert Mesa, hitting a staggering .336. One of the best slugging percentages also in the American League. We're looking at an MVP candidate here. Behind 0-2. And he gets him at 98. He goes around on the 98-mile-per-hour fastball. Michael with 3 strikeouts, gets ahead of Casas, and it's Arraez on the grass. Play made. A strikeout looks to wrap up the inning as Michael's off to an excellent start. 6 up, 6 down. Good pitch by Joe Michael as we go bottom 3. There was nothing doing for the A's in the top half of the third. And now it's Nick York, who has a chance to become the Red Sox first base runner. And he will. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. You know, a Red Sox. York takes off, wants second base, and that came out really soft from Soderstrom. Shallow center for Dawn. He'll come in. Has an easy play. Luke Berryhill was a Rule 5 pickup of theirs back in 2026. I'm actually curious what he's done. You know, he's got good numbers on the season right now. They picked him up in 26, and okay, he's been a catcher, and they were patient for a while. Like, he actually played, not backup playing time, and patience paying off, I guess? I mean, in year 4, the breakout is finally here. This is a different guy. Strike 2 on Berryhill. 1-2 is inside. This counts full. Nelson awaiting his opportunity as Michael strikes him out. This two-seamer is pretty good today. Sometimes I don't use that pitch a whole lot because it doesn't quite reach the velocities of the four-seam. Just high. 2-2. That's way too low. So what do you throw here? 3-2. Soderstrom wants the heat. Line to Sweeney, inning over. Oh, that sounded nice. Here in the 4th, it leads off with an extra base hit from Guerrero that really got out in a hurry. Line drive, quick one hop over the right center porch, and Vladdy is in scoring position. Arise, batting, and that is blocked by Berryhill. Bayo gets the weak grounder, and Vladdy will advance. Game plan from Bayo is quite simple. He's going to pitch you low and just try to get you to ground out, basically. Like, he's not trying to fool us a whole lot. It really comes down to, will he ever miss up? And if we get it, we should capitalize, and we should wait until that happens. Dawn swings at the first pitch and airs it out to center. Vladdy's going to run. He scored our first run, and he will score again. We waved him through on a base hit earlier. Now a sacrifice fly. He's got his cardio in for the day. Bayo pitching to Miguel Cabrera, and this is a full count. And it's sent to center. Cabrera has a pair of hits in this game. Now, I want to see him miss that same pitch, but to Yusniel Cruz, and see what happens. He almost hit him. I don't feel like we're going to see Bayo a whole lot longer. Energy's getting down. Maybe a 5th inning. And if he does get the 5th, I really hope we can take advantage, because this feels like a guy who can give up a nice crooked number to us. Busted the bat of Cruz. He'll try to beat this out, and will on his second infield single. It's kind of weird. He's got a high 90s fastball, but it's really a secondary pitch for him. He used it there to go inside to Cruz, but he's going to throw the sinker a lot more than the fastball. And Vargas lifts it deep left field. That is gone. The monster cannot contain this 3-run bomb. 5-0 Oakland. And Vargas delivers his 10th. We didn't have to get to the 5th inning to put up that crooked number. I still can't believe how valuable Miguel Vargas has become. Well, that's another changeup missed. And this one is going to try center field, but Fenway's center field's a little obnoxious. That's into center. Here is Dawn. Got it. Way out in front of the changeup is Rafael Devers. Michael's got him 1-2 and jams him to Vargas. That's the first hit off of Joe Michael. So we can't try to go and have a no-hitter today. All right, we just can't find a strike suddenly. Tristan Casas. There's one at the knees. Up and in. That's untouchable. And the comeback. Okay, we have to go to first. Come on. I hit it twice, but okay. I shouldn't have gone to second base in the first place. But we should have gotten a second throw out of it. Cabrera coming in on the soft pop. Makes the catch. And we're through 4. They do make a change. Bayo lasts 4, and now we're into the Sox bullpen. I wonder if Tyler Soderstrom can maybe be an all-star catcher again this year. He's got 10 homers. He's hitting the ball all right this season. I feel like the offense is just missing, though, like one of those middle-of-the-order guys just having a really good all-star caliber season. Soderstrom base hit center field. Like right now, it feels like the guy who's like the most dangerous hitter in the lineup is Miguel Vargas. Go back to a few seasons ago and tell me that Miguel Vargas would be one of our most valuable players. I'd be really confused. I'd have to process that one for a while. That's a base hit into right field as they keep elevating these pitches. And Arise got one up, so we're not taking it. But it does end the inning on a double play. Just the way it goes sometimes. I love baseball. Bottom of the 5th inning, and they're already talking about the possibilities of a Joe Michael complete game. He's only gotten 12 outs. He's thrown 71 pitches to get to this point. A little bit high to go complete. Runner on, though, for the Sox. They led the inning off with an infield single. That hit him. He didn't go, apparently. First to reach. Got a little action here. Sox trying to get back in it. He has 4 triples. I suppose in this outfield, you know, things can get weird. Shallow right. It'll fall in. They'll test Cabrera. Firing home. Oh, that was so close. I thought he had him for a second, then I realized it was landing a good bit short. The Red Sox are on the board. And the shutout is broken up. Good changeup to Eric Nelson, one of his best. The 0-2 from Michael is high. Into center now, and it's going to be... Oh, Don, what? I was right there. So a run's going to score. Like, I thought I was in the right spot. You know, it plays an animation, he'll run in and catch it. Played it on a hop. 2 runs home, no outs in the 5th. Pretty big at-bat here now. A 3-run game. Enriquez takes the high fastball. Sox really want to get back in this game. Line to Cruz, who will make the catch. What a journey to get this first out. Don't want to make a mistake here, or this 5-0 lead's going to disappear. Rafael Devers. Really big spot. Got to see if he'll expand his zone a little bit. We don't usually try to just pitch on the corners a lot with Michael, but in this at-bat, definitely will. Pitch count's getting up. And Michael's just not as sharp as he often is. 3-1. Gonna listen to Soderstrom's suggestion. as Devers draws the walk and the bases are filled. Action now in the A's bullpen. Things are getting dicey. Robert Mesa takes inside. Bases loaded. It was a 5-0 game. We had, I think, over 90% chance of winning at that point. Michael just off the plate. It's 3-1. And he has to throw a strike. He does, and it's lifted toward the monster. Cruz measuring, makes the catch. A run will score. It was that close. Just can't get the close ones right now. And Michael's running out of gas. Big time. Do we have to consider making a change after this at-bat? 3-1. It is in there. Runners will leave early. 3-2. And it's in the air. Dawn catches it and preserves a 2-run lead. It's Cabrera, though, who has a pair of singles in this game. One scored a run and one helped continue a rally. Making a very positive impact here on the offense. And he's going to line this hard to right. Might have been his best hit ball. It's the one that doesn't get a hit. So we are making a change, and although he's supposed to be in that setup role, I'm going to use Kendrick Haynes now. It's the part of the order I want him to face, and that'll leave Ashby available to face the top of the order. Hopefully in the 7th, I could see Ashby getting 2 innings, or 1. You know, we'll see what the score is, but I don't really believe in just super, like, rigid, defined roles for relievers. Pitch to their strengths, whenever that may be, and be flexible. The 2-2. Not competitive, it's full. Sox trying to continue their efforts from the 5th inning. Miguel Blyce fighting with Haynes. Could not get that cutter. His best pitch, I think, is when he can get that cutter up and in against the righty. Did not happen. Cabrera coming in. That's a catch. He's had to move a lot tonight. And this could be 2. Out at second, double play on Gurriel. Haynes does his job. Oh my! To the monster! Off the top of it! Vargas nearly did it again. This guy is unbelievable. Could Miguel Vargas be an all-star? He's hitting over 300. He's got double-digit homers. I mean, there's multiple players who could fit that criteria, but the dude is balling out. I'm not biting on that. The big change in this lineup was to further highlight Miguel Vargas and Trey Sweeney. Sweeney is hitless. Ooh. This could have easily been a 3-pitch strikeout. Instead, it's 2-1. Baseball's awesome. 3-1. And a 5-pitch walk. None of those pitches were all that bad. And it's Franmil Reyes now. 2 on, 2 down. Johnny Valencia staying in. Delivering a slider. He doesn't really have a lot of confidence in his pitches right now. But he continues to throw. A piece of the changeup to keep the at-bat alive. 2-2 Valencia. Low, it's 3-2. And he really needs to find a strike here. And that's into shallow center. Vargas will have to stay put. That brings us Tyler Soderstrom. Valencia up to 37 pitches. Soderstrom grounds it, and it's fumbled at first. He's still retired, but they botched an attempt to get the double play. And Soderstrom had a 2-0 slider up. He got on top of the ball. So Guerrero's not getting a chance here. He's walked to first. And that means base is loaded. It's going to be the 6th hitter. And that is Luis Ariz. Big spot to rebuild the lead. 2 down. Way too high. On the ground, and he rolled it right to the second baseman. Not the best pitch to attack there. Valencia getting through these innings to send us to the bottom half of the 7th. And we're going to... I think we're going to make the change here. Good inning from Haynes. No need to leave him in any longer. So Ashby's going to face a couple of righties probably, but I'll throw this guy against anybody. Pretty good action there on the fastball. It looks so fast. Barry Hill lifts it for Cruz in left. And on the track, he makes the catch. Vargas can't get that one as Nelson lines through a base hit. Tying run at the plate now for the Red Sox. Rafael Devers on deck, and that's Guerrero. Nice stop. Out at second, nearly doubling up the speedy Enriquez. 97 speed. If he's got 96, I'm not sure he gets there. That was close. But it extends the inning now for Devers. Starting 2-0 is not ideal. Uh-oh, elevated, fair, and we're going to play it off the wall perfectly. Oh, he's going home. Way too aggressive. Enriquez is fast, but he ain't that fast. Bit off a little too much on that play. In most cases, you hit that down the line, you can score. But we literally had the perfect carom. Aaron Dawn. I feel like he hits it right at people all the time. It's not his fault. Yusniel Cruz hitting with 2 gone. Eric Ullman is in the game now for the Red Sox. And he pounds it into the ground. He didn't want to leave the infield today. Wow, bottom of the 8th inning, and Ashby opens it with a nasty strikeout of Robert Mesa. I mean, this pitch is filthy. And then he returns to that outer edge, nails it. Ashby is pretty darn good. 12-6 dropped in, no big deal. Tough at-bat to step into for Tristan Casas. That's the way it goes. Strike 3. Not perfect, though. He can still throw a ball from time to time. Miguel Bleis with 2 down, and he waves at 1, 6 inches outside. There's that slider. We can throw it inside the righties there. We're not fearing it right now. 1-2. Fought that off. He's still a strikeout victim, though. Aaron Ashby's disgusting. All right. Can we get any insurance now as we head to the 9th inning? Looks like Ullman's going to stay in the game, and he's got to face Miguel Vargas. That could have been another extra base hit to the monster. Got a little too anxious for that slider. Challenged him. Strike 3. Quiet episode here for Franmil Reyes. He's 0 for 4 on the night. 2 outs here in the inning. Out in front. He's thrown some pretty good stuff. Sox bullpen's been impressive. The 0-2. And smashed off the wrist of the shortstop. Looks like we got a hit for Reyes. That is not a hit. It is actually an error. So it's going to be an 0 for 5 night for Franmil Reyes. Inning extended, though, for Soderstrom. Royce Lewis now in the game, running at first base. 2-0. Lewis goes, and the shortstop couldn't have been in a better spot to play that. Okay, let's go bottom 9. We got Penn Murphy coming in. He is 19 for 21 this year. Lefties have particularly been an issue. And here is Nick York leading things off in a 2-run game. And a swinging bunt, Murphy hustling, makes the play. I gotta see that again. Was that a swinging bunt or was that a bunt? Check swing. Okay, that's what it was. Gurriel. Didn't chase. That time, he bounced it foul by a little bit. There's the swing. 2 strikes on Gurriel. And the count's full. Sox want to get one on. Here's their chance. Gurriel strikes out. Great slider from Penn Murphy. The game is on the shoulders of Luke Berryhill. There's a fastball, strike 1. A Rule 5 pickup a few years ago. Staring at an 0-2 count. Game on the line. Murphy. On the corner to seal it. And the A's win in Boston, taking game 1, 5-3. Miguel Vargas again provides the biggest hit of the game. Joe Michael started extremely strong and then ran into middle inning trouble. He is still the victor in this game as the A's hold on. Good win here for the Oakland A's. They do get their 39th of the season. And this victory achieves a little tie here, I guess. They're considering it a tie. I don't know, Angels have played a lot more games than us, like 4 more. So, whatever. But that's a positive episode, I'd say. You know, we were on the road quite a bit. We're 9-6 so far, off to a good start in this series against the Red Sox. And we'll face 3 members of the American League East before this month is done. And maybe next episode we'll get in a start with Logan Gilbert and see him coming off of injury. I think that's a pretty good episode today. What do y'all think? Let me know down below. I feel good about our changes made to the offense. Here are the team leaders. Franmil Reyes, still the home run leader, but it's very tight. For batting average, it is the only 300 hitter on the team, Miguel Vargas, who's also a 393 on-base player, 502 slugging. He leads us in all these categories. But Yusniel Cruz, 16 doubles to lead the team, 8 home runs. The slugging is definitely trending up. I wish they would show you like stats from month to month, because it would show like obviously progress for players, and it would tell us that Cruz is really trending in the right direction, at least in that category, even if his average is pretty much the exact same. I'd love to highlight some of that in our episodes, but I couldn't get the ball out of the infield with him today. But that's going to take us to the end of this episode, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for all the support. 10 more episodes until we reach 100. We're going to do that before the year's over. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.